16-year-old Emma had been waiting for this moment her entire life, but she never expected Madonna to notice her in a crowd of 50,000. What happened next proved why Madonna isn't just the queen of pop, she's the queen of hearts. It was July 13th, 1990, at Wembley Stadium in London. Madonna was at the peak of her Blonde Ambition tour, and the energy was absolutely electric. She'd already worked the crowd into a frenzy with Express Yourself, Material Girl, and Papa Don't Preach. Now she was settling into the more intimate part of her set. The stadium was packed with 50,000 screaming fans, but what none of them knew was that in the front row, center section, sat a 16-year-old girl who wasn't supposed to be there at all. Emma Richardson had been born with spina bifida, a condition that left her paralyzed from the waist down and confined to a wheelchair. But her disability had never stopped her from dreaming, and her biggest dream was to see Madonna perform live. For 3 years, Emma had saved every penny from her part-time job at the local library. Her parents, Sarah and David Richardson, had tried to discourage her, not out of cruelty, but out of love. They knew how difficult it would be to get wheelchair-accessible tickets to one of the most sought-after concerts in the world. "Sweetheart," her mother had said gently, "Madonna tickets sell out in minutes, and the wheelchair sections are so limited." But Emma was determined. "Mom, I don't care if I have to sit in the worst seats in the stadium. I just want to be in the same building as her." Emma had grown up listening to Madonna's music during her countless hospital stays and physical therapy sessions. When the pain was unbearable, when the doctors said she might never walk, when other kids made fun of her wheelchair, it was Madonna's voice that gave her strength. Like a Prayer wasn't just a song to Emma, it was her anthem of hope. 3 months before the concert, something incredible happened. Emma's story had reached a local radio station through a listener contest about your biggest dream. The DJ was so moved that he contacted Madonna's tour management. What happened next seemed impossible. Not only did they find Emma wheelchair-accessible seats, but they upgraded her to the front row center stage. When the tickets arrived in the mail, Emma broke down crying. Her parents had never seen her so happy. "I can't believe this is real," she whispered, clutching the tickets to her chest. But there was something Emma didn't know. The radio station had done more than just get her tickets. They had also sent Madonna's team Emma's story, along with a photo of the young girl who had found strength in her music through years of medical struggles.
Her parents wheeled her to their seats, and Emma couldn't believe how close she was to the stage. She was so close she could see the intricate details of the set design, the microphone stands, everything. "Mom," Emma said, her voice filled with wonder, "I can almost touch the stage." As the stadium filled up around them, Emma felt a mixture of excitement and nervousness. She had dreamed of this moment for so long, she was almost afraid it wouldn't live up to her expectations. But when the lights dimmed and Madonna appeared on stage, in her iconic cone bra and high ponytail, Emma knew that this was going to be even better than she had ever imagined. For the first hour of the concert, Emma was in absolute heaven. She sang along to every word, her voice lost in the roar of the crowd, but her joy visible to anyone who looked at her. Her parents took turns taking photos, capturing every moment of their daughter's pure happiness. Emma's face was glowing. Despite all her physical challenges, despite years of pain and limitation, she looked completely free. "This is the best night of my life," she shouted to her parents during a brief break between songs. Sarah Richardson wiped away tears, watching her daughter experience such pure joy. Then Madonna began the opening chords of Like a Prayer, and Emma's eyes lit up with an intensity that her parents had never seen before. This was her song. The song that had carried her through her darkest moments, the song that made her believe in miracles. Madonna was about halfway through the song, moving across the stage with that confident, powerful presence that made her a legend. "When you call my name, It's like a little prayer. That's when it happened. Madonna was dancing near the center of the stage when her eyes swept across the front row. For a split second, her gaze landed on Emma, and something made her look again. There, in the front row, was a young girl in a wheelchair, singing along with tears streaming down her face. But these weren't tears of sadness. They were tears of pure, overwhelming joy. Madonna stopped singing mid-sentence. She looked confused for a moment, staring down at Emma. The band, unsure what was happening, gradually stopped playing. The entire stadium began to quiet down as people realized something unusual was occurring. Madonna put down her microphone and walked to the very edge of the stage, directly in front of Emma. She knelt down, getting as close as she could to the front row. "What's your name, sweetheart?" Madonna called out, her voice carrying through the stadium sound system. Emma, shocked that Madonna was speaking directly to her, managed to speak loud enough for the microphone to pick up. Emma Richardson, I love you so much, Madonna." Those words, spoken by a 16-year-old girl who had overcome more challenges than most people face in a lifetime, hit Madonna like a physical blow. What Madonna did next had never been done before in the history of major stadium concerts. She turned to her security team and said something that made them all look shocked. Then she addressed the audience. "Ladies and gentlemen, I need you to be patient with me for a few minutes. There's someone very special here tonight, and she deserves something extraordinary." Madonna then did something that left 50,000 people speechless. She climbed down from the stage. Security immediately moved to help her, but Madonna waved them off. She walked directly to Emma, who was sitting stunned in her wheelchair, unable to believe what was happening. "Hi, Emma," Madonna said softly, kneeling beside her wheelchair. "I heard your story. I heard about how strong you are and how much my music means to you." Emma was crying so hard she could barely speak. "I can't believe you're really here. I can't believe this is happening." Madonna looked at Emma's parents, then back at Emma. "Would you like to come on stage with me?" Emma's eyes widened. "Are you serious?" "Dead serious," Madonna smiled. "If you're brave enough to be here tonight, you're brave enough to be on that stage." With the help of security and her parents, Emma was carefully lifted onto the stage, wheelchair and all. The crowd erupted in applause, but it wasn't the usual screaming and cheering. It was respectful, emotional applause, the kind you hear when people are witnessing something sacred. As Emma was positioned center stage next to Madonna, she looked out at 50,000 people, all looking at her, all applauding for her. For a girl who had spent years feeling invisible, feeling different, feeling less than others, this moment was beyond anything she could ever have imagined. "Emma," Madonna said into the microphone, "this song means a lot to you, doesn't it?" Emma nodded, still unable to fully process what was happening. "Well, it means a lot to me too, and tonight I want to sing it with you. Will you help me?" Madonna began like a prayer again, but this time something magical happened. Emma, despite her nervousness, despite being in front of 50,000 people, began singing along. Her voice, amplified by Madonna's microphone, blended with the Queen of Pop's powerful vocals in a way that was both beautiful and heartbreaking. "Like a prayer, you know I'll take you there." As they sang together, something incredible happened in that stadium. 50,000 people began singing along, but quietly, respectfully, turning the song into a gentle anthem of hope and strength. There wasn't a dry eye in the house. Tough guys who came to see pop music were crying. Teenagers were sobbing. Parents were holding their own children tighter, realizing how precious and fragile life really is.
When the song ended, Madonna hugged Emma tightly. But then she did something that surprised everyone, including her own team. She whispered something in Emma's ear that only the girl could hear. Emma's face lit up with the most beautiful smile anyone had ever seen. "Emma," Madonna said into the microphone, "you've made this the most special show of my entire career. You've reminded me why I do this. Thank you for being here with me tonight." As security prepared to help Emma back to her seat, the young girl did something that surprised everyone. She reached into her small purse and pulled out a folded piece of paper. "Madonna, I wrote this for you. I wanted to give it to you if I ever met you." Madonna unfolded the paper, and as she read it, tears began streaming down her face. She looked back at Emma, then at the crowd. "Emma wrote me a letter," Madonna announced. She says, "Thank you for teaching me that being different isn't something to hide from. It's something to celebrate. Your music saved my life when I wanted to give up. I hope someday I can be as strong as you are." The stadium erupted in applause, but Madonna wasn't finished. "Emma, you don't need to be as strong as me. You're already stronger than I could ever be." After that night, everything changed for Emma. The local and then national media picked up her story, but more importantly, something had shifted inside her. The girl who had spent years feeling limited by her wheelchair suddenly felt limitless. Emma started a blog called Wheels and Dreams, where she shared her experiences and encouraged other young people with disabilities to pursue their passions. Within a year, she had thousands of followers from around the world. She was invited to speak at schools and hospitals, sharing her story and Madonna's message of self-acceptance and strength. She became a powerful advocate for disability rights and representation in the arts. But perhaps most importantly, Emma never again felt like her wheelchair defined her limitations. That night on stage with Madonna, she had learned that her greatest strength wasn't in overcoming her disability, it was in embracing who she was, exactly as she was. The experience with Emma also changed Madonna profoundly. From that night forward, Madonna made it a point to connect with fans with disabilities at her concerts. Not always as dramatically as she did with Emma, but she started paying attention to her audience in a different way. "That night at Wembley changed how I see my role as a performer," Madonna said in a later interview. "Emma reminded me that music isn't just entertainment, it's medicine, it's hope, it's connection. That girl taught me more about courage in 5 minutes than I had learned in my entire career." Madonna kept Emma's letter for years, and the two maintained a correspondence that lasted well into Emma's 20s. When Emma graduated from university with a degree in social work, Madonna sent her a congratulatory video that Emma treasured. The video footage of that night at Wembley became legendary among Madonna fans. Bootleg recordings of Emma and Madonna singing Like a Prayer together are some of the most treasured Madonna recordings in existence, not because of the music quality, but because of the humanity they captured. In 1995, Emma established the Like a Prayer Foundation to provide concert tickets and meet-and-greet opportunities for young people with disabilities. The foundation's motto, taken from what Madonna said that night, is, "Being different isn't something to hide from, it's something to celebrate." To date, the foundation has provided concert experiences for over 5,000 young people with disabilities, many of them resulting in life-changing moments similar to Emma's. The story of Madonna and Emma Richardson reminds us that sometimes the most important moments in life happen when we stop what we're doing and pay attention to what really matters. Madonna could have ignored the young girl in the wheelchair. She could have finished her song, completed her show, and moved on to the next city. After all, she had 50,000 other fans to consider and a tight schedule to maintain. Instead, she chose compassion over convenience.
She chose human connection over professional distance. She chose to see Emma not as a fan in the wheelchair, but as a person with a story, with dreams, with value. And in doing so, she gave Emma the confidence to become an advocate and inspiration to thousands of others. She gave 50,000 people a memory they'd never forget. And she gave all of us a reminder that true strength isn't about being perfect. It's about being authentic, being kind, and being brave enough to lift others up. Today, there's a small plaque at Wembley Stadium that reads, "In memory of the night music became medicine, July 13, 1990. Every performer who plays that venue sees that plaque, and many ask about the story behind it. When they hear about Madonna and Emma, something changes in how they approach their own performances, because that night reminds us all that we never know who's in our audience. We never know who needs a moment of recognition, a touch of hope, or just the knowledge that they matter." Emma Richardson is now 50 years old and works as a disability rights attorney. She still goes to concerts, she still loves Madonna's music, and she still believes in the power of dreams. But more importantly, she helps other young people believe in the power of their own dreams. Madonna stopped her show for Emma Richardson, but really, Emma saved Madonna's show by reminding her and all of us what performing is really about. It's not about the lights, the screaming, or the applause. It's about the connection between human beings. It's about using whatever platform we have to make someone else's life a little brighter, a little more hopeful, a little more beautiful. And sometimes, if we're very lucky, it's about giving a girl in a wheelchair the confidence to change the world one dream at a time. If this incredible story of compassion and human connection moved you, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Share this video with someone who needs to hear about the power of seeing people for who they really are. Have you ever witnessed a moment when someone stopped everything to help another person? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to ring that notification bell for more amazing true stories about the heart behind music's greatest legends.